Brews and Banter.
Hi, Frank.
Hey, Roman, how are you?
I'm doing great. Do you remember Dennis dropped at one of our interviews recently?
Yes. In fact, yeah.
He's back with a plate of sushi.
Yeah, this is like 2.5 times, right? Because he's been on before.
Yeah, Dennis, if you're going to keep bringing sushi, you're welcome to come.
And guests, apparently, right?
But
Because he brought us
today,
Kaylee
Dennis
also.
is guest. And, we are here to talk about his novel, the book he wrote recently. And I believe this was a long time coming. You worked on this for a long time.
Yes, 96 to 99.
Right. So, Dennis, give an introduction of yourself. We didn't even know you were an author. We're like, what? You wrote a book?
Well, I am Noah Sick in the book. That is my middle name and the name of my mother's father. So it's not like I'm trying to hide from Dennis, but my wife decided that a writer's name is better, is Noah.
Oh, okay. No, I like it.
It seems people like it. So
yeah,
I'm easy. I basically the credit here goes to my wife because this was in the computer with several other books I've written, and she was going through the computer and she found it and she read it and she said, this needs to be published. And so for our anniversary last year, we went to the town, Eaglesmere, Pennsylvania, where the town is, where the book is based around. And she fell in love with the town. And then the book really hit home with her.
Oh, nice.
And with little choice of my own, she just went and ran with it. And my gosh, she's put in hundreds and hundreds of hours of formatting, editing, the graphics for the cover, things that I imagine would cost the author a huge amount of expense and time. And so
that's fantastic cover art, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I love I like how it captures the title of the book.
Yeah. And once you read the book, the cover really goes, wow, the cover has a huge story in it, that you can only guess at the beginning, but once you get into the book, you're going, okay, now it makes 100%.
And no spoilers. So don't anybody come looking to us to give you shit away.
Yeah. We're going to read after. But you said it lived on the computer for how many years?
So since 1999, the bizarre thing right now is I'm just reading the book for the first time.
Oh, after it's been done.
Well, I wrote the book backwards. I wrote the ending and I worked it backwards. And then I went back and forth and I added the history and all the details and research. The book spans from 42 to 1998. So I never did it in any order. So now as I'm reading the book, and I didn't want to read it before she published it because I would have been probably obliged to make changes. So I wanted to reflect the way I wrote it in 99, other than commas and misspellings. So, but so now I'm reading the book and I'm about 75, I think 71% through. And I'm still wondering what's going to happen next because I made so many changes. I don't know what change I made.
Mystery to you.
Yeah, that's great.
So it's kind of a bizarre situation that I'm sitting there, once removed. Maybe a great formula for authors. Write a book about it for 30 years.
And is this something common that authors would do? Like they'll have the ending, but then they need to come up with a story for the ending?
Well,
or is this like unique?
Most of my books I've written, which, there's more to come, you write the book in a short period of time. Yeah, it's like, you get a synopsis on a book and, well, basically, that's based on a book that was already written. Well, then it really goes backwards. You write the synopsis and then you fill in the book. So, I suppose I could just write the synopsis and not write the book, which would,
right. It's really quick.
Which would be a lot easier. But so you sit there and I think I literally wrote the book in, 3 nights, sitting in Santa Monica late at night. And then over 3 years, I would look at a paragraph and then I'd do it. And at one point I changed it from first person to third person. Then I decided to go back to third person. And that was some of the decluttering my wife had to do, where I kind of did a Raymond Chandler thing for a little bit, and then I decided I didn't like that, and so she had to do some of those those corrections. But and then the thing about publishing is you've got your soft cover, you got your hardcover, you got your ebook, you got your Kindle, and some other variations, Ingram or something like that. So each one requires separate formatting. It's not like you edit the book. So as she uploads, she has to edit. If there's a word change, she has to edit across every platform.
For every style of
for every style, and then then to get the lines to end up on the when you got the right thickness of the book. When you're
that's
all of a sudden you add 8 pages, and now that line doesn't line up on the binder. So it's like
I see.
You have an ebook as well.
Yes, an ebook.
Are you reading
Kindle? I'm actually reading on my cell phone. So
no, but I mean like when someone is oh no, I'm thinking of audiobook.
No, audiobook she's working on now.
Okay.
That's pretty complex because you've got to either have a reader, but then you still need to rewrite the book phonetically.
Yeah.
So that it will, and then put then he needs to produce the emphasis. She needs to sit there, depending on if it's going to be a monotone thing or there's going to be excitement when there's excitement and whatever. I think on our website, Dancing in Time, you can go there, and I think she has a short,
a sample of that. I listened to that when we were at the event we had in June.
And I encourage everybody to go into Dancing in Time, follow it. We have the Eagle Mirror Chronicles, I believe she created, which things that are going on down there. It's a book that once you read it, you need to go see the town. As I told you, the town is about an hour south of Waverly, 3 hours from Syracuse, a couple hours from 2.5 hours from Philadelphia, an hour and a half from Scranton.
I want to ask you more about the town, but what inspired you to write this book? Like, where did the idea come from? Did you just said, I want to write a book?
Well, from the time that I was probably 5 or 6 years old, I would go to Pennsylvania, and both of my grandparents lived only a few miles from this town. And both of my grandfathers both did work in the town. My one delivered coal, one did stonework. So I would go ride in their trucks with them and go into town and see this very, very wealthy looking town, beautiful houses, unbelievable lake. They're famous for a toboggan run. It's like the only toboggan run like it in the world in the winter, that they cut the blocks of ice and build like a luge up right from the center of the village. So that generates, I think I just read 35,000 people in February to come. It's kind of like
only one in the world, you said?
Only one. It's something, and I guess I would have to find out what makes it different, but it's very different. And there are old videos from the 20s on it, all the way up. They've been doing it for some time. So the town is known as the town that time forgot, and you go in there and you can really see it. This is not a town that you would just drive by and go, oh, look at this town. No, you have to drive by, and then you have to make a couple turns that you probably wouldn't make unless you were intentionally going to this town.
And where did the idea come from to write the book? Like, at what point you decided that I'm going to write a book and this is what I'm going to write about?
Well, this was, I don't know if it's a sequence. I have several other books that are in the can, and to me, it was more of a. I was spending a lot of time in the 90s in California, a couple weeks at a time, and it was my, down by the beach or at the coffee shop, and it was just kind of a peaceful moment, to do it. I didn't know if I was ever going to do anything beyond that, and so I did it not knowing what the future would bring. I guess I always hoped that I would have retired earlier than now, and had time to pursue this more. So
you're still young.
All the same genre? All the other books?
No. I have one, Losers Incorporated. It's about a underwater hockey team in San Diego, which is going to be a real fun book, a real fun book. And then I have another one that is a history book told from my perspective of a silver dollar, where it's been and what it's done. And
so your wife just cringes because she's like, edit. That's all she's seeing now. Right?
She's trying to get her hands on them, but they need more refining before.
So those are locked down from her right now.
Yeah,
okay.
Those are Okay. I need to. This one, I in my head I was done with it. I moved on. And one of the things I get from many people that have read it is it feels like a movie. It feels like I watched a movie. Unlike a lot of books, there's constant movement in a book. A lot of characters. When you read the book, you have to pay attention to the timeline, the beginning of each paragraph. We have the date and time and where you are, because sometimes you're in 1942, sometimes you're in 1998.
Okay.
You jump between times.
Yeah, so it's the character, like I said, the more characters, the most, and when you're reading. When you're in 1942, it sounds like and it feels like you're in 1942.
I see. Yeah.
I mean, I'm to the point now. Even the hotel in the book, it burnt down long before I was born, and they've replaced it with a similar looking building. But I mean, I feel like I've been in the original hotel many times. I mean, it just feels so.
Yep.
When I was writing the whole book, I mean, I feel like I was actually there in all the spaces.
The readers can get that feel from reading the book.
and it's just the sound of a radio, the sounds of the cars and the boats and the lake and everything. So,
nice.
So it. I mean, I've been very pleased with the response, and I got to say, I was also a little terrified about even handing the book out and having somebody read it, because I don't know. You write something yourself, and in your head you maybe understand it, and they're going to think this is
And you're your own worst critic.
Not that I criticize. I liked it. I liked what I did, but I'm going. I was just a little shy about putting my hand out there. And.
But the response sounds like has been great. Did this book actually bring more tourism to the town?
What's that?
Did this book bring more tourism? Like more people came?
Yeah, because you were recently down there, right? You were recently down there for.
We just went down for a book signing in Eaglesmere, and I didn't know how it was going to be received. I didn't know, because obviously this is an alternative history book. There's a lot of actual history in here, but then we have some fun. There's a little romance. There's a dog. There's
no toboggans. You bring it to
I did. I was in California, so I really wasn't. I avoided the winter months there. That was the idea was to stay warm. So
of course,
and it's just here a little bit earlier today. I got a text message from we had a book signing over Island Escape here a couple weeks ago, and one of the ladies bought a book for a friend who was a very heavy reader, and this was only a couple hours ago. Let's see. So she sent me a copy. Just finished. When is the sequel coming out? Loved it and loved the ending. Hope to meet the author sometime. Text just came from my friend that I bought her a copy at the book signing, and her comment, now I can't wait to finish it. And, so somebody else who was halfway through the book. And I'm getting all kind of feedback, callbacks, people, geez, I want to get another copy for a friend, or, just reach out and go, wow, I can't believe you could write Yeah, I didn't even know you could read.
Well, I'm already skipping the movie, right? Let's just go right to movie.
That's amazing support. And I was going to ask, is it written in the way that it could be a movie?
It's you got books and then you got screenplays. As from a couple people I've told to, they said that this is almost written as a screenplay.
Okay.
Well, and truth be told, your wife can make anything happen, right?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
And was that the intention? Did you?
And in many languages.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it's been translated?
Huh?
It's been translated to other languages?
She plans on it.
She's working on it.
So, and what I've also found here is, I thought this was going to have obviously an interest of locality based on me living here and people, friends and whatever, and an interest in Eaglesmere and Williamsport and Towanda and all the towns that surround
the Little League place, right?
Yeah,
Little League World Series.
Yeah, so that's about 35 miles south of this.
Okay.
But now the genre is much bigger than I realized. People that just we met interesting guy here. You ever heard of Red Dirt?
No.
It's a car from 1970. It was a race car. It was a Red Alert. Red Alert. What did I say? Red Dirt.
Yeah.
Red Alert. So, anyways, it was a 1970 Chevelle, and it won all the races in 70 and 71. The driver, Bob Hamilton, in there. So it turns out the other night we're at the Eaglesmere Inn, and this guy comes up to me, 6'5", and he goes, "Are you the author?" He goes, "I want a copy of your book. I love this genre." I'm trying not to spill it.
Sure, no, that's fine. Yeah.
I love this thing, and he was so excited. And then the next day, he invited me up to the runway where the car was on display, and for the first time, and he sold the car many, many years ago and went on to different cars. He was a famous racer, and that car actually was made. AMT made models of it, and it was like
these matchboxes and stuff.
Right. Okay. So he went up. Now he's 6'5", and oh my God, I went up and looked at his car, and if you hear the sound of it, it's like the big black. And so the new owner, who paid a lot of money for it at an auction, was going to let him drive it on the runway.
Oh, and that day when you were there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went up, and there's pictures of me with him at the car, and he looks in the car and he goes, "Oh my gosh." He goes, "When I was racing it, I didn't have a roll bar in there. I don't know how I'm going to get in this car." He got in it, and I'll tell you what, he was wearing I mean, I don't even know how he steered the car. He had to stare, 6'5". I mean, I would have had a hard time getting in that car, without the roll bar. But he was so excited to get in the car again. And, so he ran down the taxiway and got on the runway, and, he hit it. And
6'5", you could probably shave another half second off that time if you were 5'7".
Yeah.
He traveled in time, I bet, when he got in that car.
Yeah.
So did he build the car? Did he build that? Or
well, no, I'm not sure. Yeah. I guess I don't know enough history about him. Bob Hamilton, glad to hear from anybody. I'm sure anybody who's in the race circuit knows who he is.
Red Alert.
But and then what's amazing about the town is there's 151 permanent residents and maybe 3,000 in the summer. Most of them are from Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., which is part of the story of the book, and suspiciously part of the story of the book. And they, and for many years, a train came to this town every day from these big markets before the war. And then the train disappeared. And, now all of a sudden, the only way to get this town was by train. And this is in the Endless Mountains, which means there's no flat spots. Well, all of a sudden now, there is a 3,400-foot paved runway with a 3,400-foot taxiway with another 3,400-foot grass strip that you can if you know the owner of the runway, you might be able to get permission to fly your plane.
3,500 for a plane.
Plane or whatever. But and I mean this runway is as big as Hancock was when I was a kid. So it's just and it was no easy feat building a airport on a mountain. And
I'd imagine it's difficult runway to land on because the mountain formation and
winds
that it creates, you got to be pretty skilled pilots.
This is high on top of everything. So
so it's that's interesting. So when you decide to do this, right? So how do you, the information you have in your book, right? Based on history or fact, where did you obtain that? Like, did you do research or did you hear from people or both of those?
A lot of the other history was a lot of library time.
Okay.
And that was a time that the internet wasn't anywhere.
Yep.
I mean, now it's just, it would have been very easy.
Fingertips, yep. Yeah, you wrote the book in an hour then.
And that was the other reason that I did not want to read it before my wife published it, because I would have felt obliged to make changes, and I wanted to reflect the period of time that I wrote that I wrote the book. And I mean, because it had been hard not to go, well, I now know this, and put that in, and it would not have.
That could be part of the sequel that the text message you're asking about.
Yeah, it's definitely the end of the book leaves it wide open for.
So it's 98 it ends?
Yeah, ends at 98.
So they go 98 to 2000.
So there's
2028.
There's been a lot of interesting changes since then that both validate the reason why I would do a sequel.
Yeah.
Are there any local legends that are weaved into the story?
Bob Hamilton.
No, he's not in the story. But now you've got a lot of very known characters that have, they had a playhouse there. So there was a lot of known entertainers and people that went to this town.
Quit ruining the book, Roman. How about mafia? Is there mafia in here? Can we talk about that?
No mafia. No mafia. Just evil politicians.
Yeah, same thing. Spelled differently. Right?
But
that's in every book. Evil politician doesn't. That's no surprise.
It's like the joke from our other podcast.
Boobies?
No. How come politicians don't play hide and seek? Because good ones are hard to find. But since the book came out, do you feel like the town is getting more traffic because of the release, or it's too early to say?
Too early to say.
Just early.
But you had a great turnout when you were there. Yeah.
Of the people there, they knew we were coming.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about that experience when you were there for book signing?
Well, the Eagles Mirror Inn, which is a wonderful, wonderful hotel.
Is this
center of the town?
Is this in the book, or was it something else in the book, or can you say?
Yeah, no, it's mentioned. Okay, it's been there for a long time.
So it's still around. It didn't burn down at some time.
No, this one didn't. It was a Crestmont. There's a place called the Crestmont up on the hill that was.
But usually, all old hotels burn down at some point.
The Crestmont was much like the hotel from The Shining.
Okay.
Big winding driveway and whatever.
Yep. Same time period, right? Was that Shining based on that time period? The Shining, the movie?
Yeah, probably. So anyways, Eagles Mirror Inn, it's been, it's always so nice, but it's been recently majorly updated, renovated. Very nice restaurant. Again, if you read the book, you're going to want to go to the town. You're going to want to stay there, or one of the great bed and breakfasts. The houses are all, through the whole village, are just the stonework and the details and the landscaping. It's just.
We're big in that architecture as well. Is that inside? These cars inside the hotel?
These classic cars museum?
Then they got the part of the Air Museum is a car museum that is off the charts, probably one of the best in the country.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And you make a trip.
Yeah.
And that's up there. Now the question that I had for the guy with the airport, okay, we opened up 5 of the hangars, and we saw all your 30 old airplanes that were like perfectly restored, and we saw that. Well, what's in the other 7 hangars?
Oh yeah. Again, that's
Did
part
he
of
reply?
and that's part of
that's the sequel.
That's part of the sequel. And we need to find out if they're UFOs, if they're where those connect to.
You have that relationship with him that like he.
Well, actually, I met him the day of. Very nice Joe. I met one of the guys. Very nice gentleman, and very nice. We'll see where it goes.
Sure. So it's open ended.
Saw me the next day, and he seemed to know everything about me. So
okay.
He checked out my restaurant.
That's right.
And stuff. So it's.
Did he come down here?
Did
he come down here?
No,
to check out your restaurant?
To the book signing.
Oh, okay.
So he did a little research.
So there's an opening, right? It's not a closed door.
Yeah. No, and he invited me back. We're going back on Labor Day weekend, I believe, to do a book signing at the museum, the car museum itself.
Oh, okay.
So
that'd be nice.
So
maybe we could plan a trip around there.
Yeah. What month is that?
Labor Day.
September 7th.
On Labor Day?
Well, no, it'd be the Saturday. Let's say it fallen.
Well, we got friends in that area. For us, it would be maybe 45 minutes or an hour away. I mean, even 3 hours is not far from us here, right? But we've got people down that way. We know.
Yeah, I mean, we can make a trip out of it.
Yeah,
at some breweries and do that,
and not crash your party, but we'll meet you there. Yeah.
Actually,
we'll meet you.
Yeah, come on down and interview people, for the sequel. But like I say, it's once you read the book, you'll want to go there, and it's a lovely trip. And if you're a motorcycle rider, it's a great ride. The ride down to 220 is fantastic. I'm sure there's plenty of places for RVs.
It's drivable. It's not that far away.
Not a ton of. I mean, you got the Eagles Mare Inn and the Airbnbs, but it's not like this place easily could generate thousands of people a weekend, but they would have nowhere.
But there's campgrounds around here.
Nowhere to stay. Yeah. And the world's.
Are you a motorcycle rider?
No, not anymore.
But I know you do you restore your classic trucks, right?
No, I'm into the old trucks and tractors, and I did motorcycle riding when I was younger. So, that was fun, but a little too.
How many?
Sorry,
I'm sorry. Do you have how many locations are you planning on going for book signing?
We're going to be kind of expanding the circle. We'll probably go down to Williamsport at some time because that's part of the book. And
gotta go to the World Series.
We just have a potential invitation to do one in L.A. In November. I gotta see what that looks like, but.
And you spend time there, and it'd be nice to kind of get.
We have on August 15th. We're doing one at the Manor.
Here in Baldwinsville?
In Baldwinsville.
Yeah.
And then on August 26th, we're doing a Trump Winery wine tasting at the Manor, which I'll probably be doing some some signing there if anybody wants. It is available through Barnes & Noble. Olive's Eatery here in Baldwinsville has it now. Obviously, the bookstore in Eagles Mare is carrying it. We've, Amazon and the Kindle. So we are going to, on Kindle, it'll be, I don't quite understand the thing, but I think it'll be a free, or there's a special thing on Kindle where it monitors the number of pages read. So there's no cost.
Oh, okay.
There's no cost to it. So we're just switching to that platform. So frankly, love selling the book. I like having people have the paper in their hand, but when you read it on Kindle or Amazon or ebook, and then you review it on there, we really appreciate it. And
I like paper copy.
Yeah.
I like to have it.
In a perfect world, get it on Kindle. And keep the paperback. You don't want to wreck it by opening it and bending it.
Right.
And
ruining the signature.
I had a few people that brought to the Eagles Mare that brought their books to be signed, and I almost felt like I need to give you a new book.
Oh, really? It's good they were reading it.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
food stains or something.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. So,
But there's something about that, like, used up book.
Yeah.
Like, my mom has so many
the
books.
hard cap. I mean, this is the
Yeah.
hard top versus the soft,
Right.
And obviously the hard cover is going to hold up. It's printed on the jacket. It's not a paper jacket. The pages my wife did in a light ivory, so they're not bright and glaring, and they're a little bigger text format, I think, than normal.
Oh, the font.
Yeah.
For us more seasoned gentlemen.
So when you do a book signing, do you do a reading as well?
We did over at the Island Escape, and probably will at others if it's a large group. At Eagles Mirror, the people were in and out, in and out, in and out. So it was like a nonstop. We were 11:30 to 1, and we got there at 11, and we were signing books from 11 o'clock to 2:30. So.
But now there's been exposure to the book, an introduction, signing. People have been reading, and then if you offer like a reading during book signing, I think people would gather up and want to hear from an author.
Yeah, that's and I guess that was something. Like I said, we did it at the Island Escape book book signing. So if it's a event where the people are there long enough or whatever, but bookstores, I think it tends to be people come and go. Come and go,
rapid, quick.
Yeah. So
any part of the book that been the most challenging?
No, I mean, I found it rather easy to do, but like I say, it didn't, by no means didn't feel like a job. I mean, so it was, and I would revisit chapters, and that's what made it a little bit difficult was, and then I decided I'm going to kill this person now, and then I decide not to kill him, and
we do that daily here.
Then I got to remember later in the book, did I kill this guy or not? And now I got to go back and find the chapter and find out, or did I kill him? Did I kill him twice?
Yeah.
Or?
How many times does this guy die?
That's funny. I killed my guy. I gotta go back. So going back and revisiting chapters is like the difficult part.
Well, it had to be all difficult because of that. But then you've also, like you said, first person, third person. Like, what's happening? There's so much time between. There's got to be a lot of work going into this.
And then back there, it was the other thing was like using Word. If I had Frank was the main character all the way through, and all of a sudden I said, I don't like the name Frank anymore. So I would tell Word to change it to Roman.
Yeah.
And then it would change it to Roman 80% of the time. so now I got to go through.
Hopefully you killed Roman twice.
Like, who did I kill, Roman or Frank?
Yeah, so
we could be a celebrity couple like Froman.
Yeah,
or something.
That's funny.
Now what I don't comprehend is when people wrote books before iPads or laptops or. I mean, I wrote a lot of this on, remember HP iPacs?
iPacs.
It really was kind of looked like a cell phone, but it was
like a palm plant.
It was like a palm.
So not touchscreen though. You had the little stylus.
Yeah, the little stylus. Yeah. So
like a BlackBerry. Or
I mean, I moved, and I remembered that at one point, this book was on a 3-inch disc, which then I had to find somebody that could get it off a 3-inch disc because it sat for a few years, and I got to move to a computer before I lost it. And I don't know. I mean, if you have a 3-inch disc now, if I gave you a 3-inch disc, could you figure out a way to?
I probably have a way to copy it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there are services out there that still have old equipment to be able to transfer.
Right.
Even like beta discs. I think you can still.
Oh, floppy disk.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, like I say. So, but I mean, the people that did the old-fashioned longhand writing.
Yeah.
How do you go back and make?
Yeah, like the colonial people that write by candle and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
how much eraser kit?
Well, even fountain pen. Like, how do you erase fountain pen?
Yeah.
Right when these people write.
You write over.
Yeah.
I use fountain pen.
Well, I'm talking about like, you're geeky and nerdy, but I'm talking about back then. That's the only thing they had. Like Jefferson, these people writing books.
Prior to writing this book, the only books I wrote was when I was, at my parochial school. We had to do book reports. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't think I read a book till I was 30. Mm-hmm. So, but I did a lot of book reports. So my experience in book reports was writing great book reports on books that were never written.
Perfect. Yeah. How do you grade that, right?
Although I remember one year Sister Germaine said, Dennis, All You Want to Know About Carpentry by Joe Carpenter. I ain't buying this one.
The great book reports. Books were never written.
Yeah. That's perfect, though. What a great concept. You know?
You got away for a while?
Yeah. I got away with it forever, ever.
Yeah. Grade me in like 30 years when the book's written. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, no, I write very creative book reports. I found one. Remember those old, they were kind of black and white marbleized, that you got at the local bookstore.
The composition notebooks.
Oh, is that what they were called?
Yeah, composition.
Yeah, so I found one sitting that my mother had saved with this book I wrote when I was probably 8 or 9 years old and whatever. And and I'm not a script writer. I can write in script very well, but I'm an excellent printer, and I sign all my books with print. I typically when I'm doing a book, I try to make it as personal as I can when I address it to the person, but it's when I wrote the book, I surprised myself. And probably at 30, I started reading, and then between 40 and 55, I was reading lots of books.
It's only like 2 years ago.
I read all the authors and all the boilerplate, and you see these guys, Dean Koontz and Sandra Brown and Dan Brown and all the Browns, and they all got and their books are good and they sell millions.
Mm-hmm.
But most of them, I can write you a 1-page book report on it, and you're going to know everything in the book. And they're designed to appeal to people that want to read simply and have a good story and be entertained. And I guess that's what it's about.
Entertaining and easy to read.
Yeah. This is a little more work to read. You gotta follow the story.
It sounds to me like you kind of have to immerse yourself in that story, visualize yourself there. Yeah. Like to kind of not fall into a character, but fall into that time.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are books I've read where my emotions are up and down, and I feel like those are the books that I'm deeply immersed in that story.
Mm-hmm.
Where there's some books I'm just reading it and doesn't have that effect.
Yeah. But I also sympathize with today's times. I mean, there was a time when people had much more time to read.
That's right.
I mean, the whole dynamics of life is so complex now. I mean, the fact that I'm having a hard time finding enough time to, read my book between air conditioning problems and this problem and that problem and running the business. And I don't know how I read as many books as I did 20 years ago that I did.
And that's why these audiobooks are huge for people, because they're always on the go nowadays.
Yeah. So it's, I think there's quite a number of people who've started in the book, and I've had a few people who've read the book and they loved it, and they said, I just can't wait to hear it on the audiobook too. So they want, they want to hear it again. And I think that will be I think it will produce very well as an audiobook.
Mm-hmm. Dennis, a lot of people are asking about you, your book, and your journey. I'm curious, what was your wife's reaction when she first read it?
She told me she liked it, but I don't remember hearing that.
She tells me she told me. She gave you a report about a book she hasn't read yet.
So when I gave it to her, I never really heard back. So I figured, okay, she didn't want to embarrass me and say, no, this.
You intentionally gave it to read it, or she came across it?
No, well, I think I let her know where it was. Okay. But I didn't really hear anything.
Breadcrumbs.
Yeah. So it was like, I mean, again, I was a little bit fearful to put it on the, so I figured the best thing is if she doesn't read it, she doesn't say anything, then my feelings don't get hurt, and
I'm just wondering, like, she read, like, what the fuck? Like, this is amazing.
Yeah, so she read it and she said she told me she liked it, but then when she went to the town, then it really hit home with her.
Yeah, lots of
and I'm not sure that's necessary for everybody to see the town ahead of time, but for her, not being from the United States, there was some dynamics in it that yeah.
What do you recommend? Read a book, then go to town?
Yeah, either way. I mean, the town, if you got time, I mean, I think if you go to the town, you're going to want to read the book. If you read the book, you're going to want to go to the town.
Read the book in town.
Yeah, or go camp out in the town, or Airbnb it, or sit there at the bar and get drunk and read the book, and
But there's definitely references you can see in the book.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, as you're when you drive to the town. When you read the book, you're going to see all the points you've driven through on the way.
Perfect.
It takes a pretty good circumference of geography.
Sort of leads up to it. Yeah.
Did she express what in town really bind that reading the book and being in town? What sealed
it's just
for her? Like,
the town the time forgot. It's right on the cover. And you get there, and it just you sit there and you look around and you go, wow. Here, why, who, when, what,
Yep.
So it's,
And you'll be going back again for signing.
Yeah. Like I say, we're going to definitely do probably September, and the museum and everything closes in Columbus Day. So depending on if we feel the demand is still there, because the thing about the town is they have new people every week.
I see, yeah.
So, with 151 residents, that's easy to do. But, like you've got, people who rent a cottage there every third week of September and every, first week of October and whatever. So I think there'll be a never ending.
What's the end of the season there?
Columbus Day.
So what happens over the winter there? I mean, they got the toboggan thing.
It goes dormant until the toboggan run, if they've got enough ice on the lake. So the thing about the toboggan run is there's the main road to the village is a steep hill down onto the lake. And actually we need to talk about the lake. And what they do is they go down in the lake and they cut these blocks of ice, and then they literally build this luge type of thing. So it's not just ice on a road. It's like blocks of ice that once they do it, it'll be good for a period of time.
That's right.
And you're going down the steep hill and you hit the lake. The lake is this pristine, no motorboats on it other than a safety lifeguard boat. It looks like something out of the beachfront is probably, if you went back to 1910, is exactly the way it was today. They got all these changing rooms, hundreds of changing rooms. Every resident in town has their own changing room down there with the lock on.
Their own.
So they can leave their chairs, their swimsuits,
I see.
You have to be a full-time resident to have it.
You have to be a full-time resident, and even if you're in the hotel, I think if you're at the Eagles Mare Inn, that gives you pass, but the lake is owned by the association. So basically it's a corporate town. I mean,
I got it.
The stores, the buildings, and everything. So it's, if you're a tennis person, almost every house has a tennis court. Wow. There's public tennis courts, but almost all the private houses have tennis courts. So there seems to be a huge tennis emphasis in town. Great country club, golf course, Eagles Mare Country Club, just a quarter mile away from the main intersection. And I've been there for many weddings for cousins and family over the last 50, 60 years. So
I know in the book you have history, mystery, fantasy. Is there anything special about the lake in the book?
No, I mean, I think it's described nicely, and again, I think you're going to get a good feel for the type of lake it is. It's not an Oneida Lake. It's not an Onondaga Lake. Mm-hmm. It's not
Nothing mysterious in the book about the lake.
Yeah, no, it's just nestled in between all the old hotels and the train station and the town. And
You didn't kill Roman in the lake. Didn't drown
No.
him. Okay.
Not yet. I mean, that's a sequel.
Keep asking,
Yeah.
see what happens.
So the title "Dancing in Time." What does that mean to you? Like, how did you arrive at that, and why? After you're done eating.
No, once again, the title, the picture, everything makes sense from the front to the back. You're going. You're visiting people in 1942 and 1998 and connecting them. And like I say, the cover is she did a wonderful job on illustrating the book.
So when completed, that book, the cover.
Yeah, you read the book, and anytime you look back in years to come and you look at that cover is going to remind you of what the book was about.
Yep.
In any parts of the book.
Yep. And this clock that's in the town, it's in the town square, huge center of town. There's a sweet shop on one corner, coffee shop on the other, a museum, gift stores, little grocery store, great little Catholic church. Not a lot of structures, but a lot of private residences.
Yeah, but a quaint village nonetheless. What people look for as far as a getaway that's quiet and seasonal. I don't know what a town of 151 permanent residents would look like.
150?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if they have no real police presence. It's a town that you don't want to go out of town because that is beer country.
Yeah.
I see. So you want to, if you're going out, you want to stay out all night.
You want, you want to open the door and you want to look every way and make sure your garbage is put out at the curb and there's no food left in your car. And
I was just traveling, and every nature part we went, we always had to have a bear spray with us. It's just, we were in Montana and Wyoming, and it's just grizzlies, black bears, and they tell you, don't leave, don't go on the trails without bear spray.
Yeah.
Because without the bear spray.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard of that. Never.
But if this book was to be turned to a script and a movie, would you want to play a part?
No, absolutely not.
What? No, like not as a role, but a part, like producing, directing, whatever.
Yeah, I would. I think my wife would be more apt to be more involved in that end.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think she should be an actress in it.
No. My wife is very introverted, if you ever met her.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Right.
She tells me that all the time.
Yeah.
So, no, it's, it was funny this past weekend. There was a whole group of people in town, and everybody was picking people who would be who in the movie.
Yeah.
And,
she was?
No, the group of of people that I know. Everybody was, well, who's going to be this? Who's going to play that part? And my brother today sent me from California a picture of Julia Roberts and her daughter for playing the Greta in 1998 and playing the Greta in 1942. He said, I got the perfect casting for you, Julia Roberts and her daughter.
Nice.
You should play Roman when you die.
Yeah. I'll be the guy who dies in the lake.
Dead Roman.
What was the town's reaction to this acknowledgement and maybe putting it back to the attention, to the public?
Well, obviously they received us very well because of the book, and they had the title and the town in it. And now we'll see what they do after they read the book. I guess that's the next question.
See if you're still welcome back.
Yeah, we'll see if my September 7th gets rescinded or gets rescinded or not.
Yeah.
But I know, I stayed away from. There's absolutely no names of all the characters in there are created.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
the name of the senator is created. So there's absolutely no resemblance to the data, and the scientific data is, and that's why it's alternative history. That's all accurate. But the names and the way they're applied and the outcomes, those you have fun with, and that's what's fun about alternative history. Are you all either aware of Harry Turtledove? He is a writer from UCLA, expert in the Civil War, and Harry wrote a book called Guns of the South. And again, I'm trying to think, this got to be a 1990s type of book. But basically, his book was about the fact that these people from Zambia from 2013 go back in time to the Civil War and bring 100,000 AK-47s to the Southern troops. And well, obviously, the Southern troops win the war.
Yeah.
And then he unravels America as it would be based on the Southern, the South winning the war.
The South winning the war.
And and he's done several books like that. He had one where during World War II, in the middle of World War II, the Martians attack us, and Hitler, Churchill, and Roosevelt now allied to fight the Martians.
Have you?
Released in September 1992. Released in September 1992.
Okay.
Have you seen a show called Man in the High Castle?
Yes.
It's kind of like that.
Well done. Well
Amazing.
done.
First was confusing.
First season was well done. Second season got a little weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Then, more of this scientific stuff or sci-fi kind of stuff. But that's what you were talking about. If Japan was to win, and if Germany, how would the United States be divided? So kind of like what you're talking about the book with modern weapons. Yeah.
So that's the wonderful thing about alternative history. You can do whatever you want. Want with it. But
is that like a genre? I never heard of
there's
genre of alternative
it's
history.
not a huge, but it's out there.
It's fun to mix facts with a little fantasy.
Yeah. I wish, and sometimes I thought at one point I would have liked to have footnote my historical data and scientific data with reference points, but at this point now with the internet, fact check it. In fact, my wife was at one part of the story. This is great. She calls me up and she goes, "Okay, you have in the book you go, Sarah left Washington and she drove 5 hours to Harvey's Lake, and it's only 3 hours and 42 minutes." And I'm going, "Have you ever driven through Washington? If the president's buying a toy for his dog, it could be a 10-hour drive."
She had to stop at pee, right?
So we compromised at 4 hours.
That's funny. Attention to details.
That's important.
So now she fact checked, a lot, quite a number of things, and some of the stuff that, and then I'm blanking on what it was now, but that's
what's the term? She put it through a fine comb or something.
Fine tooth comb.
Yeah.
So, but I praise her for her effort and behind the scenes.
It's amazing.
Behind the scenes work that she's done. It certainly is motivating me to pursue more, more involvement in the writing.
You should. It sounds like you guys are a great team for this.
Yeah, we're going to read the book. I'm going to read the book for sure.
Yeah. And
are these for us to keep?
I will sign one for both of you before we leave.
We have a library of books that we have
quite a bit.
Authors, and they bring books and they sign it, and we'll keep this will go in our Brews and Banter library.
Yeah. So it's and I do encourage people, to when you read a book, whether it's my book or anybody's book, take the time to review it. It really, being an author, until you start selling millions, it's nothing about the money. It's really about getting a message in a book. And this is a 100% non-woke book. One of the other comments was, wife said, "Are is a Negro. You can't."
With the times.
Yeah, with the
And as author, like I watch shows, and I'm sure you've seen shows. They're being consistent with how the language was back in the days. Because if that's the part of the history, you keep that the same, right? You're not changing it.
right.
I get it. Yeah, looking forward to read it. This will be interesting.
Yeah. So we've talked about sequels. What's next immediately? Other than your book signings and things like that. What in this series is there another book that you already have targeted that you would?
Yeah, Losers Incorporated. I really am anxious to find some time to to move through it. I know if I could do it rapidly if I get the time, but I'm fighting for time these days.
Yeah, we all are, and it's tough, but that's the world we live in now.
Yeah.
So your retirement time is going to be more writing books.
Yeah, I have quite a number of, I've already got several in my head. I've got 2 on paper and several in my head. And I've got one that I want to do in regards to the lock system of the Erie Canal.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
and again, I run through, a lot of times I'm working, I'm on a plane, I'm somewhere, and I should put the stuff on paper, but I run it through my head.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much history on Erie Canal. You'll have so
Oh
much
my God.
resources.
And what's funny is I talked about it, and now all of a sudden, it's funny how your phone hears you, and all of a sudden every YouTube, I'm getting YouTubes on this lock, on that lock, on the Erie Canal, on DeWitt Clinton, and it's just like, it's this stuff pops up, but it's to write a historical book these days and ads, and I'm going to stay with the alternative history. I find it fun.
Yeah.
It works for everybody. There's always a happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
That's the nice thing about
always happy ending.
Yeah, always happy
It's
ending.
like an M. Night Shyamalan
Is this your
movie.
rule, or is this like the alternative
No,
history?
you know what? Dancing in Time is not a Hallmark book, but it has a Hallmark ending.
Okay.
Okay,
like
so if you get to one point in the book, and you're like, I can't believe he just did that.
No, it gets better, right?
Don't believe it.
Yeah.
It's like Game of Thrones with Hallmark ending.
Yeah. So it's just like, yeah,
nice.
Yeah, so it's I don't know if I just spilled the beans or not, but
No.
but I just, because there are points in a book where people will get to that and they go, "Oh my God, I can't read this anymore."
Mm-hmm.
Well, so you kind of got to know that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A little something to look forward to.
Yeah. So,
well, Dennis, we got the dates. You want to say the dates again for book signing in case people.
August 15th at Mohegan Manor. We are doing August 26th also at Mohegan Manor. We look to be having a date forthcoming at Maydon, the little coffee location
here in Baldwinsville
for
as
daytime people in Baldwinsville behind Kenny Drugs. And we're looking for other opportunities. So if somebody wants to invite me, I'm happy to come. And book clubs or bookstores.
Yeah. What would be the easiest way for someone to reach you?
dancingandtime.com or I guess I have a Facebook page.
I guess I have.
Someone told me.
Noah Sick, my wife's other husband.
Yeah.
The good husband.
The smart one.
You can reach him at Noah Sick on Facebook and send him a message, and one of us will respond.
Or you
I like how you refer to yourself in third person.
Or stop at Mohegan Manor, and books are always going to be. I've reached out to Great Loopers, and I'm trying to distribute my books to all the Great Loopers coming through Baldwinsville, which is a lot of fun. I had one tonight from Montreal, and I'm looking for this book to be reached around the world. I mean, we had somebody from Indonesia the other day get one. We had one from New Zealand and
Isn't it amazing?
Bulgaria. Yeah,
today's age, how information spreads.
So it's
And what's the best website to leave the review on? Amazon, or is there other?
Google?
Actually, Goodreads.com.
Goodreads.com.
is I think that's independent. Again, I believe that's independent of Amazon or whatever, but has the highest credibility.
Right.
Okay.
And obviously, the more reviews you leave, then that somehow adds to the credibility
Okay.
of that, which moves books,
Yep.
in the right direction.
Goodreads.com. If you read the book, go on there to leave a review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I welcome input, on my Facebook individual. I like to hear. Had a gentleman tonight who was a Vietnam vet who said he absolutely loved the book, but then he said, but if you had like taken this part and just continue with that story, that would have been an amazing book too. But so it's just
To be continued.
yeah. Well, you can only go so many directions,
Yes.
and I'm now just my head's spinning with
Ideas.
trying to get the other ideas
Yeah.
out without doing it. I watch. You get a lot of authors. You guys know who Dean Koontz?
Yeah.
I heard
Dean
that.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dean does not. He writes a book and that's it. He hands it to his editors. He doesn't look back. He goes to the next book.
Okay.
Now, one of my favorite writers who's fun is Carl Janssen.
Never heard it.
He's him and Dave Barry are good friend. Dave Barry, the comic writer, he's in all the papers for years, syndicated. Writes a lot of funny stories, whatever. But Carl is out of Jupiter, Florida, whatever. Writes a lot of. And I tell you what, his books make you laugh all the way through. Both of them, actually, Dave too. But Carl writes all about Florida, about Jupiter. About one of the funniest books is Hurricane Andrew. Is stormy weather. Oh my God!
Stormy weather.
And he wrote Sick Puppy, and he just pumps them out. But they're just fun books about nothing, but if you're down in Fort Lauderdale or in the Keys, and that's time to read those books because you're seeing it all around you, and
kind of like this, go into town and read this book.
So it. Who do you like to read?
Around anytime someone comes through with an interesting book, we read it. We had Yvonne Conti.
Yeah, I saw Yvonne a couple weeks ago.
Working on her book to finish that. Just interesting reads, recommendations.
There's a lot of biographies, a lot of veterans.
Yeah, I do like
military
stories
veterans
that jump around time. It used to be hard for me to follow that, and like, what time, in what time am I reading this now and here? But now I feel like my brain has kind of trained itself to follow the stories with different timelines, and it has become interesting for me. And then I like books about sci-fi. I read some books more of like studies, like social engineering and things like that. Just technology and nothing specific that I usually gravitate to. But so dancing in time, Dennis. Um, we got the dates. We'll post the dates. We'll post the links. Goodreads.com. If you read the book, please go do a review. You're supporting small artists. No, it's not big, huge publications, but this is where artists get to go back and see the feedback. And really, like you said, it's not like they're millionaires, but it touches. It's important. And we want to say thank you, Dennis. Thank you for sushi.
Yes, thank you for all this.
Well, thanks for having me.
For
I'm going to finish this.
What's that?
I'm going to finish this.
I think we'll.
I appreciate that. Thank you for dropping by. It's always fun to have you in the studio, just to hear your stories. Now we know you're an author. That's awesome. And we're going to read this book. You got to autograph this for us, too.
Absolutely.
And we do want to say also thank you to our sponsors, FM Realty Group, Apex Property Management, and Presidium Logistics. Thank you guys for sponsoring this show. Bullfinch, thank you for sponsoring the show with your beer. Thank you, Dennis, for sushi. Thank you to Hopped Up Network.
And thank you for drinking your craft.
Drink New York Craft. If you go on their website and you use BrewsNBanter in discount code, you get 10% off. And thank you to all the listeners. And again, Dennis,
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Please read this book, guys. Get it in all shapes, forms, digital, print, and if you can make it to book signings, we will appreciate that. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.